often with mindfulness, people talk about meditative state. And a lot of times, those of us who have what I call monkey brain, where we're just constantly going, and I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how to turn it off. It's hard sometimes at night. I have to wind down, and it takes me a while to wake up in the morning and a while to go to sleep at night, because I got so much going on all the time that it's hard to get to just this meditative state where, you know, all you're visualizing is white noise. I don't very often get to that, right? But I'd like to get to the relaxation point, right? And for some people, you need to occupy your brain with something useful. So you can give yourself a meditative directive that you're going to sit in the room and you're going to close your eyes, center your breath, and you can focus on one word. Sometimes people do that. Some people whose minds are very busy, it's easier if you focus on numbers, counting, so that you can breathe in and visualize a 1. And then exhale and breathe in and visualize a 2. It's kind of like counting sheep, that it gives you a place to focus your mind on something, and you can get as specific as you want. Like the numbers can have colors, they can move around a little bit, but you're focused on the number. And then when other thoughts come in, you gently push them aside and go, I'm counting right now. 3, right? So you're honing your brain in on one thing along with the breath. You can, if that doesn't work for you, you can also make lists, not of things to do. It's not that kind of a list, but there are some people who have a hard time closing their eyes to get to a meditative state because they start to get anxious and, you know, because they can't be in control when their eyes are closed. So for those kinds of people, and this helps with our little ones sometimes when they're getting anxiety, when you're in some place that has a lot of sensory stuff going along, that you can say to them, okay, we're just going to make a list of all the blue things in the room. So now all of a sudden their brain has something to focus on. Okay, well, you know, that chair has a blue shirt on it. Oh, and that knob has a blue flower on it. And oh, this is blue. And it focuses, it gives your brain, that crazy, crazy brain that's moving, a chance to focus on very specific things. I was telling somebody the other day that going to the grocery store was just so hard when Jem was little. And sometimes we had more success than others, but one of the things that I would do is that especially the being in line at the grocery store, man, it was one of the toughest things for me in the world. And because he would be having all this anxiety, I guess, but he'd be acting out. There was a lot going on for both of us, and I was trying to get the groceries on the thing, and my focus was split. But I found early on that if I did something like I Spy, which was the earlier sort of version of this, that I would say I Spy, and then he would have to look for it, right? But we also, there were different little games that we played that are kind of an offshoot of this, that I would say to him, you know, let's count how many triangles can we see while we're standing in line at the grocery store. And you'd be fascinated by how many triangles you can, you know, or when we were working on circles. So we're also working on shapes when we're doing that, but it gave his mind something to focus on that's in the present. And it was just a great leveler for both of us, that we would sort of center and be, you know, I remember one time very specifically, we were in line at a grocery store and he had seen somebody in line make I'm not even good at it. I don't even remember how to do it. Make a shape make the heart with your hands. And so we began to try to figure out what shapes could we make with our two hands. And first we went through, you know, circle, and we tried to make squares, and we made triangles and rectangles, right? But then we tried to make letters in the negative space around our hands. And it was a really long line, and it saved my bacon. And we were together and interacting, and in a moment that was mindful of us and what was happening. That's really what mindfulness is. It isn't always this wonderful sitting on a cloud meditative state. If we can get in the moment, powerful, powerful things can happen.